Do you think there's such thing as love at first sight?
I think there's lust at first sight. Okay, so actually I think there's both, right? I think lust at first sight is when you see someone and all you have are like maybe just different romantic, and I'll keep it PG, different romantic fantasies with someone. For me, love at first sight is it's like, say you're in a bookstore and you see someone who happens to pick up your favorite author, or you see an artist and they're just painting something or creating something that just completely moves you. So yeah, I've experienced both, to be honest with you. Hi, I'm Leeza Joneé. I am a creative of many things. I draw, I write, I paint. I have a platform called The Breathing Space, which is a conversation series I host and facilitate in Brooklyn, New York. And you're watching In This Room on MadameNoire. Love to me is unconditional, sacrificial, and explorative. We get in our own way in a lot of different ways, and in order to love completely and unconditionally, you have to sacrifice those ways that you can get in your way. Sacrifice who you are a little bit, and not to take away from who you are, just, to me, it's like not being selfish in love. What scares me the most about love is that there's no real definition. Love can be defined in a myriad of ways. Love can be defined from one person to another, depending on their own life experiences. People are changed by their experiences in love. I'm an only child, raised in a single parent household, so I didn't necessarily have that blueprint. What I have seen between love in different pockets, whether it's platonic, whether it's romantic, or whether it's like love for someone's, lifestyle, it's showing up fully. To me, that's the most successful, relationship that someone can have within love, is showing up, being present, and being open. Love is like it's like a course you have to navigate, right? It's like this map that you have to navigate. So in order to sustain a healthy love or a healthy relationship, it's just making sure you don't get lost along the way. The key to love and being fulfilled in love is embracing what is not you. Embracing the differences, embracing what would be looked at as a challenge. I think it's embracing that. I just had this conversation last night. I think it's embracing what is different from you, embracing how someone loves differently than you, embracing how, you're, again, like with your friends or with, a romantic partner, even like your family, not everyone's gonna give you the same, or not gonna love the way you love. So I think it's embracing the different ways in which someone loves and how they love is important. Love is enough to take over the world. And I say that because, if people acted more in love, then I think there'd be less hate towards each other. Obviously, love and hate are, contrasting elements, but love is enough to be happy. Love is enough to build solid friendships. It's enough to grow. What I look for in like a long-term relationship with someone, be it a friend or a romantic partner, I'm really more towards the romance right now, is someone who is progressive and someone who understands that I don't come from a conventional, household, that my lifestyle has been different than, what may be considered the norm. And my ideal relationship has changed drastically. I say, when I was younger, I used to think that, things were like a love language that I felt was enough. But as I've gotten older, it's not the tangible things anymore. It's what someone can show me. What kind of person are you? What kind of lover are you to other people, not people that you want to be romantic with? How curious are you? How knowledgeable are you? And how can you share that curiosity and share that knowledge with the world? And then now that I'm older, I'm thinking about children, I'm thinking about my husband. What are you gonna show our future? There's the saying, the definition of an insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it's like dating the same type of person over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You're not gonna get that. So you learn that what may be your type or what may be your what you're looking for in a relationship. If you keep looking for the same things in different people, you're basically dating the same person. I wouldn't even say I've personally gone after a type. I think there's a physical type I may go after, which could also be a problem, because if I'm going after someone for just physical attributes, I'm never gonna get what I'm actually looking for deep down. And that can become a problem, obviously, yeah, running into the same, guy, so to speak. I think too often we get caught up in what someone should be, who they should be, and what they should look like, and what they should do for us, or what they should do for themselves, that we don't really get a chance to appreciate who they actually are. I recently shared with a potential partner something that had happened to me in my personal life about 10 years ago. And this person used what I shared with him against me because his ego was affected. I had known this person for about 2.5 years, and I just thought the world of him. I thought he was just this progressive man, this open, this curious man. He was always so helpful. At any other point in our friendship, that when it came time for me to decide, actually, I think I want to explore dating him. I want to see what that looks like. I shared something with him, and he was gravely affected by it, so much so that we don't even speak anymore. What happened to me 10 years ago doesn't necessarily affect who I am today, and it wasn't something that I had done wrong or anything like that. It was just something that he just wasn't happy with, he couldn't get with. So being transparent with someone just shows you who they are a little bit more. Transparency is a secret, and I don't even think it's a secret. I think that's just like, everybody needs to be transparent. But transparency is necessary for building a successful relationship. Back to the word openness, being open to this person, their life experience is not the same as yours. And even if it's quite similar, there are definitely going to be some different aspects that just don't align. And you have to be open to those aspects and being okay with them. And if this is someone that you want to be with, being okay with the difference that this person has, in your world. Having grown up in a single parent household, I did have people around me that were in healthy relationships. So I wish I had paid attention to how those men and women navigated their love lives with their partner in order for me to, and even ask them questions when it came time for me to have conflict with my, partner, however old I was, just to kind of see best practice and what's the best way to go about handling this disagreement with my partner. Or if I'm not happy, learning how to communicate that. A lot of times we don't speak up enough. And I think as a Black woman, we definitely don't speak up enough in the grander scheme of things. But in our relationships, you have to communicate what you love and what you don't love, what you like and what you don't like, in order to go further. And I didn't always do that before. I have in recent years done this, and it's been helping me to identify what works for me and, who works for me. I think I've taken a lot from every, relationship I've seen myself in, from my first boyfriend when I was 15 years old, to the relationship with my aunt who raised me, to another romantic relationship that actually ended last October. It's crazy because it's the first time that I've ever, even after a breakup, still seen me being with this person for the rest of my life. And not in a romantic way, it's just that I realize we're better off apart, but together instead of just together and on top of each other. We were friends for about 2 years before we started dating, maybe a little less than 2 years. And then, he was pursuing me, and I was just like, nah, I had my guard up, as a lot of us do. And then I finally was like, oh, let me give this a shot. I really appreciated who he was as a person. And we gave our relationship a try. We were together for about a year. And I just realized the same things that I saw in our friendship weren't necessarily showing up in our relationship. The things that I loved in our friendship weren't necessarily showing up in our relationship. And I just know how good of a friend he can be. And I think we'd be friends for the rest of our lives and be okay and be happier than we would be if we actually gave a relationship a try. The ideal love to me would be complete unconditionality. Unconditionality and sacrificial. I feel like when you move in love, whether it's romantic love or love for something you do or love for family, love for friends, you are unconditional in your approach.